Textile Treats from Pod 17, Wedding Dress, 1878. Welcome to Glasgow Museums Resource Centre. My name is Rebecca Quinton and I'm the Curator of European Costume and Textiles. Glasgow Museums Resource Centre is a purpose-built museum store situated in Nitz Hill that houses 17 individual stores known as pods. Each is climate controlled and designed to hold a particular part of the collection. The last store to be developed is Pod 17, which is also the furthest away from the entrance and takes up the space above the two doors at the end of the silver wing on the left of this photograph. It is home to the European Costume and Textile Collection. This short talk on a textile treat in Pod 17 will introduce you to one of the highlights from this collection. This wedding dress is made in cream ribbed silk. The style is known as the Princess line, named after Alexandra of Denmark, Princess of Wales, with the bodice and skirt cut in long continuous panels from neck to hem. The front panel is in cream silk satin, pleated and arranged diagonally to create a chevron pattern. The neckline is trimmed with cream gauze, now protected with silk grappelline, machine lace and artificial light blue forget-me-not flowers. The dress is fastened down the centre left with a row of crochet-covered buttons. Behind is a slight bustle. The fullness of the skirt is pulled together with a large silk satin bow, with the train fanning out below. The lower skirt and train are trimmed with pleated, corded and satin panels. The latter is trimmed with long fringe. The hem of the silk dress is protected with a starched linen and machine lace frill that is attached below. The dress was made by Miss Armour. Margaret Armour was born in about 1844, the daughter of James Armour, a farm manager, and his wife Elizabeth. She initially worked from her parents' home, but from 1875 was listed in the Post Office Directory for Glasgow as dress and cloak maker, 62 Bath Street. She later moved to 355 Bath Street, where she lived with her brother William, a civil engineer, and her two younger sisters, Elizabeth and Agnes, who were also dressmakers. A few years after making this wedding dress, the Glasgow Herald reported that Miss Armour was fined £1, 2 shillings and 4p for being in breach of Factory Act regulations, as she had employed two women after 4 p.m. on Saturday the 24th of May 1884. Miss Armour continued to be listed as a dressmaker in the Post Office Directory for Glasgow until 1904. The dress is part of a wedding outfit and was worn with a headdress of silk orange blossoms, veil and cream silk shoes. Here you can see it on display in an exhibition at Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum in 2015. It was worn by Jessie Morrison Inglis at her wedding to the Rev John Baird on the 18th of September 1878 at 23 Park Circus, Glasgow. Jessie was born on the 11th of March 1851 in Partick, the eldest daughter of George Inglis, an engraver, and his wife Janet Robertson. During her teens she lived with her uncle John Inglis, who was a partner in A&J Inglis with his older brother Anthony. The firm was a major shipbuilding company in Glasgow. After her marriage, the couple lived in Helensburgh. Rev Baird was appointed minister for the parish in 1883, and Jessie's dowry was used to purchase the lodge Argyle Street. Here they raised their 4 children, James, Annie, Jean and John Logie, who later became one of the early pioneers of television. One of his Baird televisors from 1930 to 32 is also in Glasgow Museums collection. Jessie died at home aged 73 on the 7th of May 1924. John Logie Baird wrote in his autobiography, "Of my mother, I find it difficult to write. She was the only experience I have had of pure and selfish devotion. Her whole life was taken up in looking after others, particularly after myself. I do hope you've enjoyed this talk on Jessie Morrison Inglis' wedding dress from 1878. Please join me again sometime to discover another textile treat from Pod 17. Goodbye.